welcome back to my channel. Take it seriously, and I hope this year has been going really fine and smooth for you all, and you all are keeping track of all the resolutions that you have made on the eve of 31st December 2022. Okay, what? No, never mind. There's always a new year, new resolutions. Okay, so let's talk about today. So today we'll be discussing arithmetic progressions, and this is going to be part 3 of arithmetic progressions. So far we have already done part 1 and part 2. Okay, so in part 1 we discussed about all the important formulas from this chapter, and in part 2 we discussed exercise 1, question number 1. Okay, so we are left with 2, 3 and 4th question. Question number 2, question number 3 and question number 4. So in this video we'll be talking about those questions. As you can see that each question has few subparts. So we'll be solving them. We'll not be solving all of those subparts. We'll be just solving 2 or 3 of them, whichsoever I find difficult and different. And I believe that rest you can solve on your own. You will be able to solve them. Okay. So let's start. So on your screen you can see this is question number 1. Question number 2, right? So write first 4 terms of the AP when the first term A and the common difference D are given as follows. So simple. So you just need to write down the next 4 terms of this AP. Common difference is given, first term is given, and you need to find out the rest of the 4 terms. Okay, first 4 terms, right? So let's solve it. So what are the first 4 terms of an AP? A plus D, second term, third term, A plus 2D, right? And the 4th term would be A plus 4D. Oh, 3D, yeah. A plus D, A plus 2D and A plus 3D. So these are the first term, second term, third term, fourth term. Let's put the values. We already have A and we already have D here. Okay, so let's solve. So A is 10, so the first term would be 10. Now A plus D is our second term. So it means 10 plus D. D is what? 10. Okay, the third term is A plus 2D. A plus 2D means 10 plus 2 into D means 10. Okay, and A plus 3 is what? 3D is what? A is 10 and 3D. D is 10 here. Just put the values and solve. Okay, so the first term is 10. 10 plus 10 is 20. It's our second term. 2 into 10 is 20 plus 10 is 30, right? This is our third term. Now this is a fourth term. 3 into 10, 30 plus 10. 30 plus 10 is 40. So we got all the first 4 terms of this AP. So these are the first 4 terms of this AP. Simple. Let's move to the next question. Here is part 4 of question number 2. Okay. So as I said, the rest of the subparts you can do. I'm just solving the questions which are different and a little bit difficult. Okay. So this is part 4. Right, so A is -1 and D is half, 1 upon 2. And you need to find out first 4 terms. Let's solve it. So we know what are the first 4 terms. A plus D. So first term is A, right? Second term is A plus D. Third term is A plus 2D. And fourth term is A plus 3D. Okay, so let's find out these terms one by one. So A is -1. So the first term would be -1. Second term would be A plus D. Means here A is -1 and D is half. So plus half. So you can just solve it to find out the second term. So half plus -1. So we'll take the LCM, right? You know how to do it. So 2 LCM -2 plus 1. And -2 plus 1 is -1. Okay, so -1 upon 2. So this is our second term. Now let's solve for the third term, A plus 2D. You just need to put the values and solve. So A is -1. It's really simple, okay? Plus 2D and D is here is 1 upon 2. So here 2 gets cancelled out. We are just left with -1 plus 1. And -1 plus 1 is 0. Okay, so the third term is 0, right? And A plus 3D. A plus 3D means -1 plus 3 into D, and D is half. Okay, so it will be -1 plus 3 into half is 3 upon 2. Now we'll take LCM here. LCM would be 2 again. So this is -2 plus 3, right? So -2 plus 3 and -2 plus 3 is 1 upon 2. So this is our fourth term. So what are the first 4 terms of this AP? So the first 4 terms are -1, second term is minus half, third term is 0, and fourth term is half. As you can see, all these terms have a difference of half. That is common difference. So these are the first 4 terms of this AP. Okay, now let's move to the next question, because I think the rest of the subparts you can solve on your own. Can you? Let's try it out. Okay, so you will be able to solve them, right? Just follow the simple rule. The first 4 terms, put the values and solve. Okay, now let's move to the next question. So this is question number 2. Let's move to question number 3 now. So now there is question number 3 for you. Okay, so the question statement says, for the first following APs, for the following APs, write the first term and the common difference. Okay, so you are given an AP and you need to find out the first term and the common difference of these APs, right? So first term and the common difference. Okay, so we are solving first part here. So what is the first term? Obviously 3 is the first term, right? So the first term is 3, right? So first term is 3, so we'll just write first term is equal to 3. Okay, now we need to find out the common difference. And common difference is what? Common difference is the difference of 2 consecutive terms. So how we can find out common difference? Either A2 minus A1 or A3 minus A2 or A4 minus A3. Okay, so you can find out by subtracting any of these terms here. So how I'm going to find out common difference? We'll just subtract A2 and A1. So A2 minus A1, common difference. So common difference will be A2 minus A1. Okay, so A1 is A. Okay, so A2 here is 1 and minus A1, right? So minus A1 is 3. So 1 minus 3. So 1 minus 3 is minus 2. So the common difference here is negative, minus 2, and that's why you can see that the AP is decreasing. So the terms of this AP are in decreasing order. Okay, so whenever the common difference is positive, the AP will be in increasing order. If the common difference is negative, the AP will surely be in decreasing order, as you can see in this case. Okay, so we got our answer. The first term is 3 and the common difference is minus 2. Okay, let's move to the next question. Okay, now let's solve part 3, and part 3 is this. Okay, so we need to find out the first term and common difference again for this AP also. Okay, so the first term, what do you say? What is the first term? Obviously 1 upon 3. So the first term, that is A, will be 1 upon 3. Okay, so we got our answer for the first term is there. Now we need to find out common difference. So common difference, as I said, how you can find out? A2 minus A1 or A3 minus A2 or A4 minus A3, your choice. Okay, so here I'll just find out by subtracting A1 from A2, that is A2 minus A1. So common difference, and how do we denote common difference? By small d, right? So common difference here is A2 minus A1, and in this case A2 is 5 upon 3. Be careful with the signs. Okay, 5 upon 3 minus 1 upon 3, right? So 5 upon 3 minus 1 upon 3, you have to subtract them. What you will do, you'll just take the LCM, and 3 LCM would be 3. So 5 minus 1 and 5 minus 1 is what? 4. So the answer is 4 upon 3. So this is the common difference. Simple. So this is our first term and this is our common difference, right? Let's move to question number, so we have solved, like 2 parts of question number 3. Now let's move to question number 4. Okay. Okay, so here is question number 4 for you. Okay, I'll just read out the question for you. Which of the following are APs? Okay, you need to find out which of these following sequences are APs. First thing, if they form an AP, then find the common difference and write 3 more terms. Okay, first you need to check whether they are an AP or not. If they are an AP, then find the first term, find the common difference and the next 3 terms, right? So next 3 terms of this pattern. So let's find out. Let's solve part 1. So here is this sequence given for you. 2, 4, 8, 16. We need to check whether it forms an AP or not. So what is the condition for a sequence to be an AP? Yeah, so the difference of two consecutive terms needs to be constant, right? So let's check it out for that. So 4 minus 2, that is a2 minus a1. 4 minus 2 is 2. 8 minus 4 here. 8 minus 4 is 4. Okay. And 16 minus 8 is what? 16 minus 8 is 8. So you can see here that the difference of two consecutive terms, a2 minus a1, a3 minus a2 and a4 minus a3 is not constant. Okay. So this is not same. This is not constant. Which means that this sequence does not form an AP. Cool? Okay. So here is part 3 for you. And the sequence here is minus 1.2, minus 3.2, minus 5.2 and minus 7.2 and so on. Let's find out whether it forms an AP or not. So what we will do, we'll find out the difference of consecutive terms. A2 minus A1, A3 minus A2 and A4 minus A3. And take care of the signs. So let's solve it. Okay, so what is a2 minus a1? So a2 is minus 3.2 minus a1. Be careful with the signs. Minus a2 minus a1, minus a1 is minus 1.2. Okay, so minus, can you see this? Minus 1.2, right? So it will be, let's solve it. So minus 3.2 minus 3.2, right? Minus will become plus 1.2. Now once you solve it, minus 3.2 plus 1.2, it will be minus. Okay, so 3.2 minus 1.2 will be 2 and the sign will be of the greater number, that is 3.2. So the answer is minus 2. Okay, so the difference of a2 minus a1 is 2, minus 2 here, right? Now let's find out a3 minus a2. a3 minus a2. Again, be careful with the signs. A3 here is minus 5.2 and A2 is minus 3.2 here. Now again minus will become plus and we'll be left with minus 5.2 plus 3.2. Now solve it. Minus 3.2 plus 3.2 will be again 2 minus 2. So here also you can see the difference is minus 2. Now let's check for this also. A4 minus A3. A4 minus A3. So A4 is minus 7.2. Again minus 5.2 will become minus 7.2 plus 5.2 and minus 7.2 plus 5.2 is minus 2. So here in this case we can see that this, these terms, the consecutive difference, the difference of consecutive terms here is constant, right? So it means this sequence forms an AP. So it forms an AP, right? It forms an AP. Okay. Now what was the next question? You just find out the common difference. So we know what is the common difference here. So common difference is minus 2. Now we need to find out the next 3 more terms. 3 more terms. So you see minus 1.2, minus 3.2, minus 5.2, minus 7.2. So the next 3 terms. So what will be the next 3 terms? In this case, minus 7.2, it will become minus 2. Add minus 2 to minus 7.2. So it will be minus 9.2. Again, plus minus 2 here. So the next term would be minus 11.2. And again, add minus 2 to it. It will be minus 13.2. Simple. Okay. Now let's move to one more subpart. Okay. So this is part 4, part 5. Okay. Part 5, and the sequence here is 3 plus root 2, 3 plus 2 root 2, 3 plus 2 root 2. It was 2 root 2. Alright, okay, it was 3 root 2, right? It was not 2 root 2, it was 3 root 2. Okay, so this is the sequence. Okay, now you need to find out whether it's an AP or not. Okay, so let's find out the common difference. Let's find out the difference of 2 consecutive terms here also. A2 minus A1. So A2 minus A1 is 3 plus root 2 minus A1 is 3. Okay, so 3 minus 3 will be cancelled out. We'll be left with only root 2. Okay, so the difference of A2 minus A1 is root 2. Now let's find out A3 minus A2. A3 minus A2. A3 is 3 plus 2 root 2 minus A2. So A2 is 3 plus root 2. So we'll keep this in bracket. So plus root 2, and once you open the bracket, Okay, so it will become 3 plus 2 root 2 minus. Okay, so once you open the bracket, so the sign inside the bracket will change. So plus will become minus. So minus 3 minus root 2. Minus 3 minus root 2. Now you can see that 3 will get cancelled out by 3 minus 3, and 2 root 2 minus root 2 will be only root 2. Okay, so 2 root 2 minus root 2 is root 2, single root 2. Okay, so here also we can see a2 minus a1 is root 2 and a3 minus a2 is root 2. Again, we just need to check with this thing, like a4 minus a3. a4 minus a3, and a4 is 3 plus 2 root 2 minus this one, a3 is 3. Again, we'll use bracket because it involves two terms here. So 3 plus 2 root 2, 2 root 2. Now once you open the bracket, what will happen? The sign inside the bracket will change. Okay, so plus will change into minus. So it will become 3 minus 2 root 2. Okay, now 3 will get cancelled out by 3 and 2 plus root 2. Again, I did something wrong here. It was 3 root 2. Sorry, 3 root 2 and it was 3 root 2 here. Okay, so now 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2 is root 2. Okay, so we can see that consecutive difference of so the difference of consecutive terms here is constant, root 2, root 2, root 2. So this sequence surely forms an AP, and the common difference here is root 2. Okay, now we need to find out the next three terms. So the next three terms would be three terms. What will be the next three terms? So root 2 plus root 2 plus 2 root 2 plus 3 root 2. Okay, so what will be the next term? 3 plus 4 root 2 plus 4 root 2. Next term would be 3 plus 5 root 2, and the next term would be 3 plus 6 root 2. As simple as that. Okay, now let's move to the last question of this exercise. Okay, so here is part 12 and it looks a little bit different. So the sequence here is root 2, root 8, root 18 and root 32. Okay, and we need to find out whether they form an AP or not, right? So what we will do, we'll first simplify these terms. So root 2 we cannot simplify any further. Root 8, okay, how we can simplify root 8? Let's solve it here. Okay, how we can write root 8? So let's do prime factorization of 8. Okay, so 8, 4 times 8, 2, 2 times 4 and 2, 1. So root 8 is what? Root 8 can be written as 2 into 2 into 2. You get it? Okay, so 2 will come out, right? And will be left with root 2 inside. So root 8 can be written as 2 root 2. Okay, so we can write, instead of root 8 we can write it 2 root 2. Okay, now again simplify root 3 here, root 18. So root 18, again we need to make prime factorization of 18. So 2, 9 times 18, 3, 3 times 9 and 3, 1 times 3. Okay, so how we can write 18? 2 into 3 into 3, and 3 makes a pair. So 3 will come out and we'll be left with 2 inside the root. So root 18 can be written as 3 root 2. So instead of root 18, we'll replace it with 3 root 2 here. Okay, now again we need to simplify root 32. Okay, so again we'll do prime factorization of 32 here. 2 16 times 32, 2 8 times 16, 2 4 times 8 and 2 2 times 4, and again 2 1 times 2. Okay, so how we can write 32? 2 into 2 into 2 into 2 into 2, right? 5 times 2. Okay, now again 2 makes pair, 2 makes pair, and pair will come outside. So 2 will come outside, 2 will come outside. It means 2 into 2 will come outside and will be just left with 2 inside the root. Now 2 into 2 is 4. So 4 root 2. So root 32 can be written as 4 root 2. Okay, and so on. Now you can see here. So first term is 2 root 2, second is 2 root 2, third is 3 root 2, fourth is 4 root 2. So what is the common difference? A2 minus A1. A2 minus A1. Now let's check the difference of the consecutive terms. So 2 root 2 minus root 2. 2 root 2 minus root 2 is root 2. Okay, now check for A3 minus A1. A3 minus A2. A3 minus A2. So what is A3 here? A3 is 3 root 2. 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2. And 3 root 2 minus 2 root 2 is again root 2. 1 root 2, that is root 2. 4 root 2 minus A4 minus A3. A4 minus A3. So A4 here is 4 root 2. You can see here. And 3 root 2 is A3. So 4 root 2 minus 3 root 2. 4 minus 3. So again 4 minus 3 is 1 root 2. That is root 2. So we can see that the difference of two consecutive terms here also is constant. That is root 2. And the common difference is root 2. So it means this sequence forms an AP. Okay. And the common difference is root 2. Right. So root 2 is the common difference. So we can easily find out the next three terms of this AP. So what are the next three terms? Three terms. So the next three terms would be, obviously, first is root 2, second is 2 root 2, third is 3 root 2, fourth is 4 root 2, fifth will be 5 root 2, next term would be 6 root 2, and the next term would be 7 root 2. So these are the next three terms of this AP. Okay. So I hope you can just solve the rest of the questions that we have left, because just this is simple. You just follow the same rule. Okay, follow the same rule and you'll be able to solve them. Right? So with this, we have come to the end of this video. I want you all to practice all the questions, complete the exercise, and solve the questions from other books also, like R.S. Agrawal, R.D. Sharma, whatsoever you have with you. Okay? Practice, practice, practice till the time you become perfect. With this, we have come to the end of this video, and before signing off, I would request you all to please like, share and subscribe to the channel. Take care and bye-bye.